full champ pool rabbit hole, Mazel.
All right. Well, we do have our first swap of sides. It will be Weibo for the first time on red side, and they will have first pick. So counter pick going to stick on blue side for all 3 of these games today.
Yep, makes you wonder if this Orianna ban has to come in now versus the Xiaohu. Yeah, so it's definitely something you want to be thinking about. Victor is open. We have seen that be a common theme. One team picks Ori, the other team picks Victor. So you don't necessarily have to ban it if that's your preference. You've also got a Kali as an answer to that. One thing to simplify it entirely is to just ban it out. But other than that, champion, it's hard to say which OP picks are really left up. Gnar has been a prominent top lane Silas, blind pick, though Silas is a champ who can really make you dissuaded from wanting to pick that one. You know, Jace being out now really lowers that blind pick pool for the top lane. We're almost getting to a meta level where you just blind pick champs like Vayne now, because there's almost no good blind picks tops left that aren't tanks. You can pick Sion, I guess, but who does that these days?
True. That's yesteryears that we're looking at that. The Caitlyn ban sneaks in there for Weibo, as they did want to focus on the bot lane a little bit.
Yeah, Nocturne being out. Vi is a champion who oh, just kidding, she's so banned. And then who's even left that's good? Xin Zhao is up, I guess. That champ is pretty strong. The Ori ban came in as expected. Let's see, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mel, Victor. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, I don't think you first pick Vayne or something like that. But yeah, Mel, Victor, Xin Zhao, some pretty good champs. Malka would be a crazy pull out of thin air. Bard would make a lot of sense. Just go with Decaria. This champ has been Z tier forever, as long as you're good with him. And by now I would say most supports must be.
Yeah, we've seen JWei pilot the Bard a few times. It looks pretty decent. Also, they banned it away last game to either keep it away from Meiko or save it for themselves, which I think is super important to highlight. But that's a first pick support, so a lot of tools still needed for Weibo to put their comp together. Now we go to the first 2 picks of IG.
Yeah, it makes things really interesting because Bard is really good into those immobile mages, meaning you don't want to pick them as much. Somehow, this has left Awesome with the exact champion I associate him with. I think he's one of the very best Ezreals I've seen in recent times. He's getting his champ in a pretty solid spot, given he's good at dodging Bard ults and he's good at making sure the enemy team doesn't take Ezreal, because that's a huge pairing with the Bard. So this is a great angle for Ezreal. Awesome being so comfortable on that, and Rookie on the classic signature Victor as well. These are just some of the perfect champions I would hope for if I'm an IG coach.
Yeah, stability for Rookie is always super important, but those kind of control mages, the scaling mages rather, really, really important for him now. And they will have some later game options for IG. The Rumble, which we've seen slightly lower in Prio recently, locked in for Weibo, as well as the Varus.
Yeah, the Rumble definitely slightly lower in Prio, and making the Varus a very interesting pick, because typically Varus is taken for his flex potential up into that top lane, well, at least nowadays. But I suppose they see the bot lane face up Ezreal, they want the Varus into the Ezreal matchup, and that's going to be what they opt for. It's really interesting to see how this is going to end up panning out for them. If that's the pick Elk was hoping for most, that just means they're playing this comp in a very certain kind of way, using Bard ults to catch off loose members, using the Varus for the high range poke and follow up. Same goes for the Rumble ult. You can imagine someone being a few screens away, Bard ulted, Rumble ulted over top, Varus arrow. Like, you can take a lot of damage really far away from this kind of comp.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to be looking to do, but that requires a fine line of execution, which has been a little bit questionable from both sides. This is something we never see, is a 4th ban Jhin from IG. We'll see what the final bans are going to be. The Kiana ban by Weibo.
You know what that means, Mazel? That is a crazy pull, because that means that this Rumble is a flex pick jungle mid, or a flex pick Rumble. Yeah, it can't be Rumble pop.
It'd probably be mid, right?
Losing the pop, but yeah, it would be a flex pick Rumble jungle mid, which means that Varus is therefore then a flex lane, a flex top. And so they choose to ban the Jin, which is a
But
great
it's
pairing with the
blind,
Bard.
so you can still pick something into the vein.
Yeah, and I would think Victor is pretty good into Rumble from my personal experience, so perhaps this is a Rumble jungle flex from Jiejie. Maybe that's Weibo's theme. We saw the Jace flexed previously. Maybe they're doing the same thing. Maybe Jiejie just says, let me flex everything so you guys get better matchups.
But I'm just going to say the stability on IG with their first 3 is extremely nice to have compared to the kind of high ceiling that Weibo's comp seems to have right now, at least for themselves. We did see a couple particular bans like the Pantheon, the Gnar as the final bans for both teams in this final game of the series. The Trundle gets locked in. Okay.
Yeah, that's something that can be considered like a bit of a blocking pick here from IG. Trundle doesn't look great just yet into those 3, but it really prevents Weibo from picking some of the champs their comp might want. So
they were just having a little bit of fun with
that
it.
dive. Yeah. That would really round out the comp pretty well, to be honest. Taking a champion like the Sylas, I think that's really great. Take the likes of Leona's ultimate. Imagine the reach you have with that, Mazel. Remember we were talking about those first 3. Drop a Leona ult in there with the flying in Wukong. Think about that.
We just saw it last night as well. Just those solar flares stolen away can instantly lock down any squishy members. And let's be real, there's no real tanks on Weibo's side. I mean, the Wukong gets a little tanky later on, but it's not anywhere near where you want to be. And the TheShy going to be pulling out the Yorick. We've seen this starting to rise in Prio. It's just such a devious side laner once the time in the game passes, and that's all IG want. They want scaling. They want late game.
They gave the very last pick of the draft to TheShy, and he takes the Yorick, who has been very popular in the current meta, just what he's able to do and neutralize some of those top lane picks. And Yorick being pretty good here because it's really quite passable into the Rumble. Most champs can't lane into him, Yorick can. And then you get to be able to be an awkward side lane matchup for Sylas. In the mid lanes, in the mid game stages of this match, Xiaohu's going to have a hard time being in the same lane as TheShy. So TheShy is really going to have his autonomy around the map, being able to do what he wants. Though I haven't really seen him pick this before. So it's going to be really interesting to see, has he caught up to today's meta? Is he on form? Is he ready for something like this?
It's Clearlove's first game as Weibo's head coach. It's TheShy and Rookie coming back for IG. It's TheShy versus previous team. Before he had come back on IG, he had come back on Weibo. That's where the Cadril, the whole pack meme came through. But all these years later, we still get to see these triumphant stars here, but in a very, very different predicament. It's Group Nirvana. Your lives are on the line with every series. It feels like 6 total series you get to play in Split 3 to decide if you are getting into even the play-ins of the playoffs. It's Game 3 between IG and Weibo, and it's no other way we would want it to go down. Let the Gios roar. The Weibo Gios have dropped off.
Yeah, after that momentum,
dude, the fans are just merchants. They win, they cheer, they lose, they don't. What's up?
That's that recency bias, man. If you just win that one game, the crowd loves it. And Meiko starting the E on Leona, really getting us off to a heated start down here in this bot lane. It's pretty good for IG if you're able to do this with the melee support.
I just love that we have marksmans back in the bot lane. I'm here for it.
We're so back. We really, really are. And they were trying to get cheeky with it, send in the potential Varus top Rumble jungle, according to IG's read on Weibo. But we didn't get to see it.
Look at the speed of this clear, though. I mean, we're going to see if it ends up being anything in the long run. But both these junglers just barreling down towards the bot lane.
The thing with this particular mid lane matchup, mind you, is that Sylas does pretty decently into the Victor. His lane phase can be pretty tough. You know, like that's a lot of damage. That's pretty annoying for now. But come the mid game stages, it's really hard for Victor to finish off Sylas's HP bar. So Silas can really run amok in these side lanes and in these fights where he can have low HP, but just keep, you know, being that draining tank, bruiser, damager, assassin hybrid that we all know him and love him to be. So he's gonna have really great ults here. Awesome.
Nice cosmic binding there. Something I really want to highlight here is and we'll see if Wei uses it in any way, but he is very far ahead on the clear here. He's already doing the Krugs. It should be finished here very soon. You wonder if he's going to try to take the forward placement on this bottom scuttle, but the push from the bot lane of Weibo is making it very difficult, even though Xiaohu's losing out in mid.
Yeah, and this is how it looks like in the very early stages of this matchup. You're just really cutting your HP bar close to the edge. Make sure you make use of that second wind. Takes the D ring, right, instead of the shield, so that's why he's much more volatile than he is durable. But he's going to be able to withstand that. Loses a bit of XP, loses a bit of gold, but that's the price you pay.
Actually, see, Awesome doesn't lose out too much in the CS that was coming under turret. He actually gets most of those except for one. And we'll get the TPs back, but it is going to be TP from Rookie used in the mid lane to match Xiaohu's earlier, and Elk will use his TP to get back to lane. So now we'll see if Awesome wants to try to use that exhaust that he's packing to try to get an advantage in the lane itself. But right now we've got kind of pushing back and forth through all the lanes, and we're going to the second clears of both junglers.
Yeah, that's going to be the mismatch across these teams, where Xiaohu and Elk have the TP, whereas Rookie and Awesome, it's just going to be the victor having that. So it just means Elk is going to be able to get around the map a little bit more, and we'd be expecting to see Yorick sticking to that side lane, but every so often Yorick does get the inkling to come fight. Speaking of fight,
that exhaust, I was just talking about it, getting some good damage down in there with the lethal tempo too. I love that JWei is kind of stepping to guard Elk. Some piercing arrow, do a little bit of damage back to Awesome here. It is important to kind of highlight the back and forth nature of that 2v2. Speaking of Xiaohu and Rookie going at it, we've got TheShy and Zika going at it. It's just waiting to blow open. About 20 seconds for a dragon to spawn now as well.
All three lanes fighting simultaneously, and it feels pretty shocking that no one has gone down yet, because it feels like there's just been non-stop trading back and forth this game. And maybe, just maybe, this Chemtech Drake could be a point of contention. I would feel like it. But we'll see what Wei wants to do with this time. Same with Jiejie.
We're going to get the double TPs from the top laners up there as well. Looks like there won't be anything to write home about for now on the bond side, unless they try to go for the dragon here with the final clear coming out of Wei. But that being said, I do want to talk a little bit about IG, and I know I talked about it a little bit coming into the intro of this game, but it's so crazy to see TheShy back. I'm personally really happy. I always love seeing big names, big faces, but I do want to see consistency. I want to see performance. I want to see the good old-fashioned TheShy that we get to see back in the day. And it's just so crazy that he's facing off against the org he was with for 2 years, and the break between his IG stints here against Weibo, and now trying to make the difference here as we see a potential fight kicking off. That's the solar flare popped in, and Meiko has to flash out. It's going to be the kill going over already, though, as Wei trying to get the kill, gets him through that magical journey, and it won't be so magical in the end. Flash forward from Awesome. He's going to get the kill there with Rookie, and Rookie's starting to light him up here too. JWei is going to get away. The pillar is just enough, and he has to flash out of the gravity field.
I knew some of this scrapping was going to have to lead to some kills sooner rather than later, and wow, he can't believe that he reaches him with the Trundle Club onto Xiaohu in the portal. Leveling up here going to mean no risks associated with that crap, but the Drake does live, so that does mean it's not a completely one-sided affair. Though yeah, we see Xiaohu goes for the Leona ult, but unfortunately the hijack solar flare, it's just a bit too aggressive. I wouldn't mind taking that hijack, saving it for a better occasion. Decides to pop it there, and popped he gets in return from Wei and his club.
I'm just trying to get a little bit of damage back in there, but it looks like some of the stable pieces that we were talking about for IG paying off so far. A little bit sub 1,000 gold for IG as a whole in this one. Dragon is up 50 seconds for the Grubbies, and we'll see if they want to go ahead and split those up.
You know what's so great about this kind of a result for the side of IG is Rookie on the Victor is just able to cash in on so many of those Hextech fragments. I mean, he's going to be almost at the double upgrade point, at least so much sooner now for the Victor. Once you have that E and the Q augmented, you've got the infinite wave clear hack, the cheat code if you will, with the E, and then the Q just means you're so slippery and so hard to reach, which means Weibo is on a bit of a clock here.
Ooh, TheShy is doing damage already, and that's only going to get worse and worse. We did see the redeploy out towards topside by Elk. The entirety of IG is moving up this way as well, even with Awesome coming through and walking through the mid lane. So we're either about to get a non-contest fight of the Grubs or a full-on 5v5 to try to decide the early game.
We just got very fast-paced game here. It seems like a lot more fighting, trading, and combat is taking place than the last couple of games. No team wants to give this over.
No, TheShy! He's left your maiden out to dry. Okay, the pillar's used. Oh, True Shot Barrage goes wide, though, and that's a lot of damage missing. He's trying to get the magical journey. He will make it sub 200 health. They were able to secure at least the one, I believe, but it looks like 2 Grubs will go over to IG.
Another common IGW, and we're liking what we're seeing across the board. Look at this near 800 gold lead for Victor, and we don't get to see the amount of fragments he does have, but I really mean it. The window starts to close about killing this Victor once he evolves the Q. I mean, he's already got the swiftness boots. How the heck are you able to reach this guy when he starts running away Mach 50? You know, and let's see here. We can't quite tell on the HUD, unfortunately, but, you know, it's not long for Jiejie and Xiaohu. JWei as well to find a look on this guy. Like I say, sooner rather than later.
All right, Dragon started up here. Will be Weibo uncontested as Wei will just continue to clear his jungle.
That's definitely a pretty meaningful response for Weibo. This game is far from over despite the 1k gold lead. Most of it's sitting here on Rookie. He's gonna be the protagonist of this game.
I think when we look at that, again, scaling option for IG, and you see a lot of that resource in TheShy, in Rookie, as well as Awesome on the Ezreal, still gets very strong as the game goes on, it feels a little bit comfortable for them to be in an advantage later on in the game, let alone now, where you do still have some of those options, it feels like, a little bit on Weibo.
Yeah, it feels like Weibo's comp, this reminds me quite a bit of game 1 from IG, where IG really had to do the diving in with the Camille, with that team comp style. It feels like Weibo is in the inverse now, where it's them having to have that agency, that authority to make use of the early game. I mean, they've got some really big team fight tools, some really big pick tools with the Bard, with the Rumble, with the Varus, and especially with these dive buddies of Jiejie, Xiaohu, Wukong, Silas. So they want to use these tools. With JWei level 6, it feels like it's nearly time.
Finally going to be level 6.
Look at this portal angle.
Finally going to hit. As JWei getting stuck in his own trap here. TheShy just gives him a nice how do you do. And will signal the rest of the team coming at least. Wei is in the vicinity. He did have Meiko moving up too. But nothing else going to come of it there. Still about a steady 1,000 gold lead for IG. Are there pick potentials here in the in-between, just like what we saw for Weibo, but for IG?
Perhaps you can find a look on a flashless target, right? But every champion on the Rift right now, all 10 of them are sitting on the flash. It feels really hard to get an absolute pick onto one of those champions, but you can definitely burn some flashes here. That's what the Tempered Fate can do. That's what the Solar Flare can do. Just a matter of catching them in the element of surprise.
True Shot Barrage had come across. You see Zika
damage.
Almost dying to TheShy. TheShy has come for it all in the top lane, and the thing is, again, I said it already, but it's gonna get worse. It's not gonna get better as both IG members dodge out of the Tempered Fate. Really nice moves, but he might have given up his life for it. The clone will take a brunt of damage from IG, and it's just gonna be a low health bar Meiko that makes it out. TheShy almost gets the kill onto Zika, burned his flash, and TheShy didn't. So TheShy is just chilling up here.
Yeah, the blind pick Rumble is getting stomped up here. TheShy gets the quest proc complete. 3 plates taken, 2 levels up thanks to the quest proc. Super good looks here from TheShy on the Yorick. I mean, if he had Trinity Force here, his snowball would be huge. I would imagine he's just shy of that gold, but we'll see. It's pretty big difference. And there
Nope, he's
you
got
go.
it.
He's got the whole thing. You know that just means he's able to unlock his full potential on this map right now. Look at that damage.
Zika almost still dies even after flashing. Just to let you know also, we're going to have the triple Trinity Force. I think that's Exodia in League of Legends. So
Yeah, we need Freak on this one, man. Get that TSM show match running again.
We'll see if the triple try buff is going to be enough. But IG, yeah, after that game number 1, showing a lot more togetherness on the plays. And we still saw a little bit of that in game number 1 as well. We're going to see some poking and prodding here, about 1:20 for a next dragon, but all eyes on the top side.
Yeah, we really are seeing an advantageous game state here for IG. Everyone's looking pretty promising across the board. Even Awesome in a totally fine spot with being the only, you know, relative gold lead. Ways where he's want to be, Triforce to Triforce. Across the board, it's just really good looks, and it's just about this Victor, this protagonist, I claim, in Rookie. Is he able to be that difference maker, that lead that just becomes the snowball down the hill?
That's the question we're all going to be asking here soon. As you can tell, there's a lot of hesitancy by both these teams. As Rookie with the solo bolo takes down Zika. Now he's going to go down to his own solo. Actually, it's a 2v1. As JJ gets the cleanup kill.
Yeah, Rookie just pops the flashless Zika there, but based on the player cams, didn't quite look like he wanted that result with the way Jiejie picks him up immediately in response. 1-for-1 is pretty solid for the side of Weibo, getting that protagonist I keep claiming him to be to get his first death of the game. That's not the main storyline.
I like the way that Weibo are playing some of these fights. They're getting Wei's Frozen Tundra out. They're getting some of his preemptive damage out and just waiting it out with the Trickster. And I really appreciate that because that's going to come super clutch in a lot of fights. Oh, Elk gets locked down. He's going to go down too. Even goes with the flash and still gets the Mystic Shot to the back.
Yep, Elk has no cleanse. He's depending solely on JWei, who went for that Mikhail's purchase. The moment that JWei went for the Mikhail's is the moment that the Solar Flare is able to come in onto Elk. Just the timing a bit off on this bot lane, and they totally capitalized, catching out the Varus, getting his flash, getting the Drake. So much going the way of IG, and I know I kept harping on Rookie, but it's kind of looking like TheShy might be the chosen one with the way this game state's going, quietly building himself a huge, the most big gold lead at that in the game.
I mean, the thing I have to harp on is we're finally, after the entire year of going without it, seeing consistency from the solo lane of Invictus Gaming. Rookie was not that in split number 1. And then we've seen nothing but craziness on this team and trying to figure out what they're going to do. And now it feels like at least for one series, and that might be it, but for one series, Rookie and TheShy are back, baby.
Rookie and TheShy are back. Guess who's back? We keep saying it. And here we go, Rookie trying to tell us it's him. Xiaohu has the Solar Flare, though. This could be a big fight.
I don't think they want this fight with Wei coming up. He does so much damage.
Maybe they do, maybe.
Instant flash coming through. Meiko waiting to go in for himself. That's going to be the TPs coming in for both teams. 2 TPs coming out. Zika gets caught. Zika is burning through a little bit of that damage, and now Meiko is forced to walk away. The Electro Harpoon does slow him down. Maiden is still alive. Awesome has just been chunking down the tower in mid lane and will take it out.
Yeah, IG just holding their cool there. They know that Weibo's going for the 5-man top side, and IG just decides not to overextend, not to bite into the bait, not to
get
fall
all 3
for
turrets.
the trap. Look at that, they're getting everything they want around the map. They're running this show.
They literally just got all the turrets. Nice. I mean, bot lane a little bit ago, but really solid macro decision making from IG.
Yeah, kind of feels like Weibo was bluffing or something.
Okay, JJ.
Relax there, my guy. Come on now. We can't be getting ourselves caught out with this type of lead that IG already has. There's no more room for mistakes on the side of Weibo. JJ being their only red gold lead left.
Xiaohu goes for the engage on a rookie.
How about
JWei's here
this?
too. Rookie's expertly playing this one out, being able to dodge through. The Arcane Storm was not enough. The stolen Arcane Storm. Would you call that back to Chaos Storm? Is it Arcane Storm versus Chaos? We'll figure that one out in the future.
True,
but
true.
It is going to be an attempted play by Weibo on the bot side, but not able to get anything. Now TP is coming back out from Rookie to get there, and they're exerting pressure onto the map of Weibo.
Yeah, they hardly got anything there. You know, just Rookie's teleport, I don't think he really minds whatsoever. Xiaohu not having access to that hijack opportunity anymore. Jiejie has the Cyclone. Although the Vision is able to spot that play out, you'd already know that IG is going to cover Rookie from start to finish this game. And TheShy is going... that's the thing here, Mazel. TheShy is just becoming this immovable object in the side lane. This threat that keeps looming and building, and it's going to reach a critical mass that just can't be answered.
And that's troubling as we move forward in the game. But I do feel like both teams pretty reserved in how they want to kind of move this game along, at least. Because we're about 18.5 minutes in. We still have double objective spawning about a minute and a half. More importantly, the Dragon on an Infernal Soul map instantly increases in priority here. But it has been IG that had the better of the neutral objective control and a little bit of the better of Zika.
This is the type of performance that's really getting me high on IG. I mean, I'm starting to think that with this configuration of players, I might be seeing something, but I feel like these players could compete internationally, like MSI.
It's, okay. Little 1v1 action. Okay, the flash. Good flash from Rookie. Just make sure he didn't have to take any extra CC. They're going to try to chase him down, but Meiko's right around the corner. Jiejie. Oh, I think they overestimated themselves. Rookie sidesteps. He's out for now, but not for long. Xiaohu will get the kill.
Yeah, the way Xiaohu's playing that, he's like, oh, he flashed under his towers? Oh, that's chill. Let me just keep running at him. And it seemed really bold and strange, but I guess it was valid. Jiejie has the angle there. That's the shutdown onto Rookie and getting his flash. It costed them quite a lot of sums on Weibo's side from Bard and from Jiejie's having to flash as well with Xiaohu. But hey, you take what you can get from a dire position like this.
You do indeed. And speaking of dire, man, every time the camera flips, it is TheShy getting value. Okay, that pillar was invisible for a moment as Wei's trying to heal up through the subjugation. Also getting the slowdown onto Elk. No collapse coming. Dragon is coming up, though, so they're definitely going to push towards that. But TheShy is just consistently getting advantages and getting push in the top side. Meanwhile, play in the mid lane. They don't land anything. The Cosmic Binding doesn't land. The Abscon Abduct doesn't land. And now TP coming in from Big Daddy TheShy.
Yep. He's here to father the region.
Oh, but Meiko overextended. He missed the Zenith Blade combo there and might just burn down. It's enough as Xiaohu with the stolen subjugation takes him down. Now Zika in some trouble here too, and the rest of Weibo starting to flash away, but they start losing bodies, and the Reaper cometh as TheShy not only comes back from the dead, but comes back to life for IG.
Shy and the pack is smoking the doubters right now with him and his ghouls by his side. Rookie and TheShy back and better than ever, and this roster could really be something. No way Weibo fights this.
Okay, I don't think they wanted that one, but it's a fight they're going to have to take nonetheless. Rookie just blasts away, and Jiejie is going to have to try to find an exit, but won't do so. Another beautiful shot from the Mystics, and us awesome will end up finding the finish kill. It looks like they're going to try to go for the Baron here.
I think the crowd knows it. I think Xiaohu knows it. I think IG's getting this Baron and all the prizes that come thereafter. This is their game to win as of this point on.
See the initial catch out here. They tried to get awesome, but they didn't land anything.
Yeah, not quite. They really had what seemed like a solid opportunity there to get awesome. The Arcane Shift was down for a solid 3 seconds there, you know, into the Tempered Fate, but they couldn't land the CC abilities when they needed to most. Just barely able to escape is awesome. Still having both sums, able to go in deep and aggressively into this fight. Weibo being up the number, but not up the power level. TheShy just dealing, what was that? Like way over a third of that guy's HP bar, it felt like, with just one Yorick Q. Helper is happy about that one. And IG might have themselves, as I was really really meaning when I said so. A banger roster here, Mazel. I'm loving these players all being on the same team.
Not since 2025 has IG really given us any hope, and it was a fateful matchup with T1 in Worlds where we saw the bulk of this roster come together and try to make the push. T1 even said in their closing interviews of Worlds that IG was the team they were threatened by the most of the entire tournament. It's been a long time coming. TheShy is back. Rookie is back. IG might just be so freaking back, as now it's going to be the push finally coming through as they take the turrets. They have TheShy pushing mid lane, Baron buff aplenty, and it looks like an avalanche that Weibo cannot respond to.
Got the 2-court press right now with TheShy here in the mid lane. Fully stacked Spear Shojin. Look at the damage that kind of build does at this stage. This tower is just not long for this world either. Xiaohu has the stolen Leona ult, but I just don't think it's strong enough. Shy's going to TP back here more than likely, and this is just an overwhelming onslaught from IG at this stage.
See the 4-1, the powerful setup from IG, 8,000 gold in the lead. Who needs Dragon Souls this series, really, as we think about it, as Xiaohu actually finds a nice engage. He got the solar flare, but then his life is forfeit. They don't even get the kill back, and now the equalizer from distance. The burn is enough. Is it? No. It's going to get one. They're going to try to get more, but Rookie comes back in. The Arcane Storm, the real one, straight from the TV show. A triple kill for Rookie, and TheShy going to go ahead and give him the alley-oop here. The burn is not enough, but Wei will chase him down. Chomp and easy, as IG go ahead and move to take a 2-1 victory in their first series as a team here in 2026 Split 3. It's the return of TheShy, it's the return of Rookie, and IG are present. 2-1 over Weibo.
Guess who's back, man? And it is TheShy. It is Rookie. They got a new crew right next to them there. And one of my favorite players in Awesome. Wei also being there with Meiko. Just a really star-studded lineup, in my opinion, with a star-studded performance. Ending that game off with the near ace. Just felt like Weibo was all out of aces up their sleeve, and Invictus Gaming able to take it back, and this is just the beginning of the group Nirvana action, man. There's that beautiful man on that stage.
Look at the crowd, man. Oh my god, they are just so rampant. TheShy is going to get the interview here as well. Of course he is. And man,
of course,
I love to see it. I love to hear it. I love that IG are doing well. Instantly getting crowd reactions as he even says a word.
Yep.
But it's more so about the fact that they did it in this way, right? Like we were wondering what this team was going to look like. And in game one, we were still questioning. We were like, what the hell is going on here? But the fact that they were able to do so off some signature picks, but as well as some consistent play from the entire team, I'm happy to see them firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, that was really alarming. Don't get us wrong. After that game one, it looked like they might have been just completely cooked, completely chopped. That this whole return of the grand superstars, it was just a big nothing burger, and we were all baited, chat. But no, the legends are back, and they are ready to take on this league and this impossible mountain it feels like to climb to get from Group Nirvana to the last worldwide international championship of the year. Starts here, man.
Long road.
Group Nirvana to World Finals.
And this was a Group Nirvana game. That's what I want everybody to realize, is how crazy this matchup was, how awesome the storylines were. We didn't even talk about it because we didn't want to overload it, but you had Meiko versus Jiejie, Clear Love, like obviously all this stuff coming behind it. I think it's just super cool that we get these kinds of stories in Nirvana, because I think it's something in the past that people have been easily willing to kind of sweep under the rug when there's less known teams in Group Nirvana. But now you're forced to pay attention to a very important time in a secondary group in our league.
Yeah, this is just going to be such a great league to watch. As I mentioned at the very start of the night, I already know the way that these two groups broke down, where we're left with this group Nirvana and then the TheShy rookie coming in on top of that with all the roster changes, everyone you mentioned, from these new players tonight, from Clear Love on the coaching roster to everything in between. I just know this split 3 is going to be cinema, and it started here tonight with this best of 3 and IG leading the standings for group Nirvana.
1 out of 6 games in a dub column for IG. That just means the hunt for the top 2 is started, and IG shot first. It's funny though when we look at hopefully get some stats here potentially after the interviews come through, but it's going to be fun to see how the rest of this group pans out as well. I mean, IG go on to face LNG next week. A pretty big break for the Nirvana teams between games, where for Group Ascend, you literally have like 2 games in a row, 1 day break and another game. But for these teams, they have a lot more preparation to do. Obviously, you have Awesome, who's going to be facing off against NIP in week 3, the team he just came from for IG. So still some really cool stuff for this IG team to kind of continue to push through.
Yeah, and I honestly really mean it. Like, half of the time I would just say stuff and be like, this is a really hype narrative that I want you guys to believe in. Like, the fact that this kind of roster could make it to Worlds. You know, I was talking about LNG with Bulldog before. You know, now I'm actually an EDG fan because of what happened there. But I really do mean it when I say this. I think this IG roster has a lot of potential. I mean, I think you bring in Rookie and TheShy, that's great, but then you pair that with Awesome. Now you've got 3 players you can play around, 1 in each lane, who can really do some heavy lifting and some really great crazy performances. So this is the roster to watch if you are a lolesports fan.
All right, let's turn the table a little bit. Weibo, level with me. It's the classic Weibo experience. Look so clean in game number 1. I literally said this exact sentence in game 1. You look so good in game number 1 and then can't finish the story. It's like Marvel. They can't finish a story.
I mean, quite literally, man. We knew that this script was just so probable as well, didn't we? It just felt like every time you see Weibo, and it seems like Xiaohu's just that guy when it comes to being able to perform and then just completely underperform immediately back to back in the same series. You just don't know which Xiaohu you're gonna get in a given game. I'm not putting all the blame on him by any means, but it just feels like that's the story with Weibo lately, and that's the story in the pattern when it comes to me watching Xiaohu and me watching this gang of players. So I want to see them find that consistency that it seems like IG sort of self-developed in this series.
Now, I did hear from Shivam that we do have the standings updated. If we can go ahead and bring that one up as well while we wait for the post-game stats and all the info, because we finally have something happening in Group Nirvana. There's been games all over the place for Group Ascend, but finally Group Nirvana gets their stake.
And now we get to really see the bigger picture for where this LPL split can take us. And of course, those big names of the AL, the BLG, you know, those are looking great. But now we get to finally assess the Group Nirvana, and this is just the beginning. We're going to be really curious to see how NIP and LNG stack up. I feel like some of those rosters definitely took a hit. You know, NIP lost Awesome, LNG lost Bulldog, etc. But IG and Weibo should be the favorites in this group, and IG definitely in the best premier position to make their way on beyond Nirvana.
Yeah, I think at least for being Series 1 Andes, then yeah. Going to Worlds.
Facts,
Shine rookie, back to Worlds.
Just like that.
Well, we get into the awards, I'm sure, between the break itself, but wondering what we're going to end up seeing if TheShy ends up getting something for that Yorick gameplay. Foles, any last thoughts going into the final series of the day with Top Esports and TT on the horizon?
Yeah, I already know that it's just going to be another banger. We've got some great casters lined up. I see Grapes is going to be coming on. I know that that's going to mean bang. I just know that this teams as well can deliver. I mean, we haven't seen a win yet out of JDG. You'd expect Thunder Talk could be the opponent they could easily do that against, but I don't know, man. Thunder Talk has been pretty lucky to even make it this far into the Group Ascend as far as I'm concerned, so we'll see if they can punch up and take out JDG after this.
Well, hey, we'll We'll see if JiaQi Love and Tien can pop off yet again. The Xerath, I'm watching it. JiaQi Love, maybe the best Xerath in the league. We have Grapes and Rude Dude coming on after this one to pick up that last series. We'll see you there, and we'll see you in chat, and we'll see you for more LPL English.